YouTube. Hi.
You have to blur Anderson.
You're probably wondering why we're here.
I'm wondering why I'm alive.
Channel. We wonder that as well, Anderson. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Do it.
No.
Do it. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon. And then drop this video a like. We appreciate it. Go ahead. It's not going to hurt you. It's right there. Just touch it. Touch it.
Anybody else turned on right now?
Oh, shit. Today's episode is going to be a lot of fun. Sam, tell them what it's all about.
Today, boys, you know what's coming up on this coming Friday.
Coming.
It's a sale for Coon Cookies. Get your Coon Cookies right now for $24.99.
Oh, come.
Penis jokes.
Everyone
Anyway.
loves cum.
The man just goes, come.
It kind of had that same kind of tonality as like the Taco Bell like bell sound, you know?
Just a dong.
Anyway.
Also, Aaron, it's finished. Go fuck yourself.
Now I'm gonna buy a bell just to have at the new house. So like when we do something like that, I'm gonna be like, "Ding."
I can imagine a gong.
All
behind
right, Jacksepticeye.
Yep. Anyway.
Does he do that?
Yeah, he has a little bell that he rings all the time.
No, big bell, like Liberty Bell.
No, this is the big bell. I'm talking like mallet, like yeah.
Just get a gong. That's even funner.
Come. Okay, Sam, what are we doing?
So this Friday, if you are not aware, at least here in the States, it is Black Friday, which typically marks the beginning of the holiday shopping season, which right now, actually, you should probably go ahead and start doing that because the shit's out of stock everywhere, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So we're talking about this holiday, 2021, and, you know, gaming gifts, and then just how fucking weird it's going to be. Like, it's going to be a little different this year.
Especially coming out of a pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Toyota Corolla crisis.
Sorry, what?
Toyotathon.
Yeah, Toyotathon.
Toyotathon took over the world, just burnt this bitch down.
Look, I'm a fucking boomer. The only thing I care about is Lobster Fest, Doom, and fucking Toyotathon.
Lobster Fest?
Fuck yeah. Give me my fucking crab, motherfucker.
Oh my
For
god.
$19.99, I can have myself a feast with some garlic butter babe biscuits.
And then the Toyota
I meant to say
Nation
shout out,
hack.
but fuck it, we're doing it live.
Are there a bunch of sponsors we're not aware of? Like what? Do we suddenly get sponsored by a bunch of people? Like, did I miss this memo? Like, Toyotathon, Lobster Fest, Coon Cookie sale on Friday.
Nah, Red Lobster called me up last night. They said, do it fucking live. We don't give a shit. And I was like, bet.
Anderson just like moves slowly out of frame. You see a lobster on a table. He starts cutting it up like, yeah, so what we're talking about today.
I know. I'm just thinking he like
see the dancing lobsters from Amanda's show come in, just being like,
I'm thinking he's like, he bends down and then picks up a tray and it's got a hot plate on it. And he's got a bowl and he just like sticks the fucking lobster in the thing and just starts cooking it.
bruh, there is Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up. Do not underestimate me. I will buy that shit and do it.
If you don't, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yep. And we'll mark this. Twitch chat, help me
Guys,
remember.
coming back up to fight.
Oh no.
I gotta admit, it's really weird having this camera angle.
It really is. It even though it's such a good camera, it looks kind of just like a normal webcam. Like,
Well, that's because of my lighting.
yeah, it's a combination of lighting and then the angle. It's just like it just looks like it's propped up on top of your monitor, like just any other Logitech camera. Like,
yeah.
So
because I screwed up and put my my light changer in a box and I don't know where it's at. So I'm not getting that until we get there.
hashtag moving problems. But anyway,
Yeah, moving problems.
so shopping this year, it was already kind of hard last year, right?
It was.
What the hell is going on over there, Anderson? I know you said it's coming back up to fight, but goddamn,
I'm sorry. It was burning.
I'd imagine so. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good now.
Cool.
I'm gonna just be drinking some of this water and other water.
Spicy water.
Spicy.
No,
water.
no more spicy water until afterwards.
I was gonna say probably for the rest of the night.
You underestimate me, sir.
You'll forget about it in 5 minutes. So the holidays are gonna be weird. That's what we've been trying to say this whole time.
Yeah, holidays are gonna. Well, if you're with friends and family, it's gonna be fun. But shopping wise and retail merchandise is gonna fucking suck. Because if you don't know, or if you've been living under a rock or in a quarantined fucking cell, shit's gotten weird. And we've been out of a lot of fucking shit, including a bunch of, primary resources.
Just primary resources like computer chips.
Yeah, well,
it's the biggest
even
one.
to go layer further, like silicon, gas, copper, not necessarily steel, but what is it? Aluminum, or for you British idiots, aluminium. Fucking dumbasses.
Yeah, so like
there's a shit in freedom units.
Yep, and this isn't necessarily just for gamers, but like we all know, I work selling certain electronic devices. We have not had them in stock since they came out at all.
Yep, I'm not surprised.
Just
because if anyone actually pays attention, they know I'm an engineer and I have to design stuff and order this stuff for those designs. And we have largely been out of stock for the good portion of, about 3 months into the pandemic when it actually was recorded.
Yep.
And by that, I mean before we actually started working on a vaccine.
Joe, have you noticed all the shortages?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're just very quiet, just eating your chips. Yep.
Just eating his nachos, just
Yep.
La Coretta
No,
smack.
even,
I'm not trying to speak.
I'm over here like a cokehead. Oh, Cool Ranch.
Ew.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the shortages out there. Like, some people may not notice it because if you're not a tech wizard or a tech head, you're not going to see all the stuff that's shortage on the things we would use. But like you see those shortages on a lot of different fronts, and the realization is it's going to be a little bit before it gets better. Like this holiday season is going to be tough because Sam, as you alluded to earlier, if you haven't actually gone and gotten your gifts yet,
kind of shit out.
That's me. That's me. I haven't bought a single one yet.
Also, on that point, Joe, I would like to say that even if you're not a tech wizard or tech head or something like that, you probably noticed because, with the GPU crisis and everything like that, I wouldn't call it a crisis. I just call it a shortage.
It was a crisis for me, fault. Okay?
Shut up, Sam. You already got yours. I'm still dealing with that fucking 1070.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even with that, like regular people have been dealing with this too and seeing the effects that come from the depletion of natural resources. So it's not just people in the industry and everything that sees the effect going wild. It's the consumers as well.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is this isn't going to stop, or this isn't going to shorten or get back up to market standards for probably about half a decade.
Oh, easily.
I don't know. So this is okay.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Let me break down my thoughts in two parts here. Part one of the thought is a lot of people aren't going to feel the effects of it because a lot of people are still going to go on their day to day. Like, even with, like what Sam was saying with cell phones, with the cell phone side of things, if you go get a new phone, they're still shipping them out. It's just a little bit longer of a wait time on the shipping because they're not doing like they usually do, where they make a ton of phones and send them out and then expect people to buy them. They're making them almost, to the customer. Like, okay, we got an order for 2 more, put them in the, send them out. So you're seeing that side of things, and it's just a little bit longer wait time. On the opposite side of that, for like your Thanksgiving stuff and your Christmas stuff, for your dinner table and your your decorations and things like that. A lot of that stuff is on shortage. If you go to your store and go grocery shopping, you're going to notice a lot of things are missing. A lot of things aren't there that you're usually used to getting.
Yeah, so don't be surprised if you can't get your Thanksgiving turkey because, guess what?
Correct. Now, truthfully, a lot of that stems from the pandemic, yes. But the realistic side of it is, it's not that we're seeing these effects, because the pandemic really was last year. I mean, this entire year, the world's been open. I think we can all agree that.
For the most part.
I won't agree with that one.
Okay. Well, you don't have to.
I mean, that's because, with my job, I travel and stuff. So it's really open like maybe May or June for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Majority of this year, the world's been open.
Yeah. I'll agree.
So with that being said, even before really everything opened, there were things still happening. People were still working. The problem that we're coming into on this is the import-export side of things. Because a lot of our stuff that we need for these things are import-export. And a lot of the things that are imported are sitting on the shores or aren't able to get into U.S. borders because of the protocols they have to go through due to COVID. So while the world's still open, a lot of that stuff's still out there, but the same thing is happening to a lot of the other places around the world because the things we're exporting, they're not able to get in. So I wouldn't say it's going to take half a decade. I think it's just going to take a little bit of transition time for us to figure this out. Still, I'm going to give it probably a year or two. I'm going to give it a year or two and think see if we can flip things around. But this is just my personal opinion. This isn't the time to go buy a shit ton of stuff.
Oh, no.
This is not the time to go buying a different vehicle. Like you're starting to see a lot of cars on car lots now that are used vehicles. This is not the time to go, hog wild with your money. This is a time that you should really be saving because the market is not in your favor right now, especially like with Christmas gifts and things like that. This is probably that holiday where you might want to tell your family, hey, look, I'm going to appreciate my present is going to be y'all showing up. That's where we're at right now.
Okay, to be fair, I did say that last night. I was just like, Joe, your present is me showing up.
But the thing is, like, to be expected, the world is not in a good spot right now. But I don't think it's going to take 5 years. I think we're going to see this turn back around in a couple of years. This isn't the early 1900s where the Great Depression hits and everyone's like, oh my God, what are we doing? Like we're all pretty smart with how things are working nowadays. It's just a matter of the actual people not running the system going, okay, this isn't the time to go buy a used vehicle. This isn't the time to go buy, a bunch of this or a bunch of that or whatever. I think this is a really good time for people to really save their money and hold on to it for when things do get better. But that's just me.
Okay, so I got a couple points to that one. First, the import-export thing. Yes, you are correct. But to everyone out there, I want to say that the protocols and practices, safety standards, OSHA, and everything that gets put into place because of the pandemic and just general safety stuff, they're actually needed. Calm the fuck down. You can't get rid of them because when you do that shit, you still have to pass certain inspections and everything like that to make sure, it doesn't have COVID or it's not at least carrying the bacterials or anything like that. But also it's not subject to terrorist threats, which is a major thing because if anyone's been paying attention to the news or the world in general, you just had the whole Afghani incident. So yeah, those checks are in place for a reason. Second thing, the only reason I say it's going to take so long is because of let me use air quotes with this, labor shortage. Because it's not that we have a labor shortage. There's plenty of people willing to work. Is that employers don't want to pay them what they're actually doing. Because COVID brought out the fact that, our service workers and essential employees and stuff like that do a shit ton more work than they're paid for. And they realize that and they're like, all right, fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm going to go work for a company that's actually going to pay for me. And no company wants to do that. So that's why there's a labor shortage, because the general elite don't want to actually pay for what the person is worth. And the person said, fuck that. Why am I going to work my ass off, risk myself in death with COVID and every other fucking disease and physical injury when I could just stay at home, collect unemployment for about $1,400, which, if you don't know, quick math, that's equal to about $60,000 to $70,000 of salary.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck would I care?
Well, I thought the bonuses for unemployment are gone now.
Yeah, the unemployment.
They are now, but during the pandemic, they were.
Yeah.
It was a good solid year. So, I mean, if you went from start to finish, you would have made a good ass salary.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we knew a bunch of people who did the unemployment side was making a ton more money than what they were making when they were working. And
bro, they were making more money than me.
Yeah, and the thing that got me with that was like, and Anderson, you're exactly right. You know, we've hit this impasse where workers understand their value, they understand their worth, because I think the majority of what we've seen over the 90s and 2000s was that, or even and in the 2010s was, I keep forgetting we're in fucking 2021.
Yeah. Fucking old.
That's my 30-year-old brain catching up with me, you know. Yep. The thing that we're seeing is over the last 30 years, employers have been fighting religiously, basically saying it's the pizza party mentality. It's hey, God. Yeah, it's hey, we're gonna pay you this salary, and if you need to work overtime, we're going to make sure you have to work overtime. So you're going to work overtime. And when you work overtime, you know, we value you. So we're going to have a pizza party. And you go in there, you make sure you get 2 slices, no more, just two slices. We make sure it goes to everybody because we couldn't pay for more pizza. But 2 slices. And then also get you a bottle of water that's this big. And then go back to your seat and go work some more. Like that's and it's the mentality.
Like, even with that, it's just like, you're not even factoring in, you got part-time workers, you got full-time workers, you got salary workers, then you got fucking contractors. And it's just like, okay, so these guys get a pizza party in overtime, which is time and a half pay, but the salary guys, they're just working for free at this point. Then you got the contractors who get their base pay based off their contract. Then you got the full-time workers that just get their full-time salary, no matter how many hours of work. And it's just like, it's unbalanced.
Correct. And now what you're seeing, because last year when the unemployment benefits went into play, a lot of these workers realized, oh, so I can get paid this much. I'm getting paid this much because the government's trying to make sure that I'm taken care of. And the government, if you remember, the government clearly stated when they made those unemployment benefits go up, they clearly stated this is to have a minimum livable wage. A lot of those people making minimum wage went, you mean to tell me that a minimum livable wage is $300 to $400 more on each paycheck?
Yep.
Oh, and the wheels start turning. And then you see a lot of your field workers, a lot of your essential employees, a lot of these folks going, hang on a second. I'm supposed to be making more money as a minimum livable wage. And now you have a lot of people who don't want to work. You have a lot of people who know their value and know what value they bring as an essential employee to whatever business they were working. They know their value and they do not want to take any less.
It's funny because like when you bring that up, it's like when they discovered that, and they discovered they're worth a lot more than what our current society has. Even I'll even bring this a little bit more forward. With the minimum wage raising to $15 a week, like a lot of the workers were just like, "Oh, I'm worth a lot more." Okay, well then, yeah, sure, I'll take that $15. Yeah, I'll go work for this company or fast food or retail or whatever. It's like, okay, but then you get the people that are essential workers, like nurses, like RNs, engineers, mechanics and stuff like that. They're just like, oh, so now this guy that's working
on the dollar.
Yeah. And now this guy working at McDonald's is suddenly on par with me. So what the fuck is my job worth? Oh, so you want your car fixed? Well, apparently I'm only as good as flipping burgers. So okay.
Yeah, you get that mentality of like, well, why would I sit here and literally burn myself alive in a 40-hour work week desk job where I'm literally just a pawn in your system? I'm just a number in your computer where I could literally go flip burgers and they don't know my name, but I'm still making a paycheck better than what I'm making now.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's just like, okay, well, and even then, it's like you're bringing these, not to disparage against minimum wage workers or retail or anything like that, but when you raise the minimum wage, you're bringing these people up to the level that you put the salary people at, like base level salary people, which, if you know anything about generational gaps, that's what millennials and I think Z, is it Z or X?
What, after us or before us?
Z.
After us.
Z.
Okay. Well, Z kind of fell away from it, but at least millennials were brought up to believe that get a college education, get that pay, whatever. And speaking for myself, I went to college, got my degree, got my work experience through college, worked my ass off, had like 2 or 3 jobs through college and stuff like that, just trying to support myself. Got there, got my engineering degree, got my engineering job, la-di-da-di-da. And then I come to this year, and now a guy at McDonald's or Burger King is earning almost as much as me. Which, hypothetically, because my company does actually pay me well, I'm not saying anything against them. But at the same time, I can see where it's going to cause discourse and problems down the line.
All right. We're back.
Okay. But to finish off that point, the labor shortage and everything like that, a whole multitude of problems that's not going to be solved in any amount of short given time. So it's going to take a while, especially since, like I said, the government jumped the gun and raised everything to $15 minimum wage, which, if any of y'all out there know anything about economics, means the cost of basic goods and quantities of life is going to raise. It's going to raise. Like grocery stores and stuff like that, with basic necessities and food, that's going to raise because they got to also leverage the cost of employment, the cost of packaging and everything like that.
Let y'all talk.
I was like, I want to hear Sam's point on this before I do this.
People, No, I mean, it's like, yeah, the labor, I mean, all of that definitely comes into play, right? Because I mean, you don't have the people working where they need to work to get the things out to the places you want to go to buy the things you want. And
I mean, this is the problem with talk about economics. There's so many facets and things that go into it that you can't really quantify it.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's hard to really talk on about in whatever. Is like, because everybody has all these ideas of like what would work and what wouldn't work, and then something happens, and then they're like, well, of course this thing worked, but then like multiverse, like just theoretically, right? Multiverse, somebody does the other thing, it still works, just in a slightly different way.
Like
it can all still work.
Strange is trying to go through something.
Yeah, so like it can all still work. But I think the problem is like, especially when it comes to economics, like everybody thinks like they're right. And really the problem with a lot of things, everybody thinks they're right and don't want to budge.
Oh man, I'm going to stay away from that one because I got some words for that.
Yeah, that's just, I'm keeping that nice and short and sweet. We're not diving into that today. Maybe a different day. But yeah, anyway, Joe, I'll let you do your thing.
So to bring the point back for a moment here, you were saying that with minimum wage coming up, having to pay more for workers, basic goods and services are going to go up, things like that. The problem with that is this: is if you look at basic economics, sure, I'll give you that. If you look at the extended form of economics, the economics that employers work with and such, because they're looking at it from a grand scheme of things, this is where we go back to talking about how people now know what their value is worth. Because you look at a lot of employers, big companies, big box retailers, things like that. They are not paying top dollar for their goods and services to be produced or even really put on the shelves. And their labor force is feeling that as well because they're not being paid the proper amount either. So point number one I want to say is this, before I get ahead of myself. The $15 minimum wage raise came out before COVID. Nobody saw that the proposition for it came out before COVID. It started getting rolled out before COVID.
Okay, the proposition came out, but it didn't actually get enacted until COVID.
Let's see real quick. I'm gonna fact check myself.
Yeah, please do, because I want to know if I'm wrong on this one.
I wasn't aware that it actually became an actual thing. I thought it was just talked about. I thought it got shot down personally, but yeah. I don't look at the news because it all just makes me mad.
Well, yeah, the news is fucking sucks.
Let me see. So currently it's not in effect across the United States.
Is it state by state?
I was right.
It's city by city.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Seattle's had it since 2014.
Oh, sweet. So it's gonna pretty much act like the weed law.
But to be fair, it has to be there in Seattle because cost of living is so high.
Yeah, Seattle and Washington is fucking ridiculous.
Well, so here's to my point. Minimum wage goes up. So employers have to start paying X amount of dollars per hour per employee. We're not talking small business, because small businesses and restaurants, I can understand why there might be a price raise there. I'm talking big box, where you're going to see a lot of your people going to buy their Christmas gifts. We're going to buy their basic daily goods. The mart of this, that.
Okay, so we're talking about like Amazon kind of level.
Correct. So what you're seeing is these companies go and buy or produce at a lower rate to get a better turnover. They want to see more profit coming out on the back end. All of their profits, if they can pay their workforce minimum and bare minimum, their revenue is not affected. Their revenue is still going to be skyrocketing. And they're taking this money and they're going to be putting it in to whatever bank accounts they can to get, sweet turnarounds on, and whatever stocks and whatever they want to play, whatever. That's all back end stuff. But the immediate fact is, when you look at what they're paying for their goods and services that they're providing, what they're paying for their workforce, all of it's at the bare minimum. So when the minimum wage goes up, these companies aren't affected. They're having to pay at the proper value of what that worker is supposed to be making. That doesn't immediately affect everything going up, and it shouldn't. The reason it does is because now what you're seeing is these retailers going, okay, we went from $7.25 I think it was, to $15. So we've doubled to pay our workforce.
It was $7.25, I think.
Yeah, $7.25 to $15 an hour. We've doubled the minimum pay for our workforce. Well, what would be the better option here? Do we reduce the workforce? No.
Oh, real quick, chat, don't forget, between 2010 and 2014, the minimum wage raised from $5.25 to $7.25 over 3-year increments. At least in Virginia. I don't know about the unit.
It actually raised to $7.25 in Virginia back in 2008.
Was it that far back?
Yeah, I started working 2010.
I know, because I was working at a Japanese bistro and I got bumped from $5 and some change to $7.25 while I was working there.
Well, same here. I was working at Food Line and some other companies, and I got bumped as well.
You were working in 2008?
I started working in 2011.
I was about to say, if you're working in 2008, we got to talk about child labor laws.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was... Yeah, we're not going into that. Continue.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, these companies, so the fact that the workers now know what their value is very important, because you're going to start seeing a lot of these companies recognizing, oh, so actually we're going to lose revenue because we don't have enough people to produce what we need. It's a tai chi of the situation. In reality, as much as the pandemic sucked, it really woke up a lot of people onto what their basic value it really is. Because we can all sit here on a day-to-day basis. We could podcast full time. It's a self-driven business. We're doing everything on our own, whatever, and we can make our own revenue based on what we provide. We don't have to worry about paying anybody but the three of us or whoever else is involved in the production value. These companies are now, and we know what our value is based on that. These companies were downplaying the value of their workforce. They were downplaying how actually valuable that workforce was to just the simple basic necessities for that business to run. And now, after COVID, when all this money was being given to the people to make sure that they were actually able to live, not thrive, live. There's a difference. A lot of people out there thought that that the unemployment was supposed to make them be able to go have steak and lobster dinners every single night. No, that's not what this is for.
There's a difference between survival and actually thriving.
Correct. There's a minimum livable wage where you can live to get the needs that you are required for you to sustain a healthy life. That's it.
Minimum wage means you're a shred above homeless. Calm down.
I'd say a couple more up, but that's just me.
But yeah, okay, I'll agree with that one. Yeah,
but when you start seeing that, that's why you're seeing a lot of your shortages in stores, because the stores know if they jack these prices up, people are going to go somewhere else to buy. If you look at Walmart, you go look at their grocery section. Well, everybody goes to Walmart for groceries. They got to go pick up some milk, go pick up some cheese, go pick up some.
I'm sorry if you got to go to Walmart.
But if you go to Walmart, their prices are only going to go up by so much, because what's going to happen is
a couple cents here and there.
But what's going to happen is they're going to hit that tipping point where people go, wait a second, why would I pay $4 a gallon for milk when I can go right down the street to Food Line or Kroger or HEB or, whatever it is, and they have it for $3 a gallon? Because some of these companies are recognizing the value of their workforce, and they're going, hang on a second, we got to pay these people. If we're going to keep stuff on the shelves, if we're going to keep stuff rolling in, if we're going to keep the manufacturing process going, if we're going to keep the cogs in this machine moving, we know one of those big cogs that could really ruin this is if we lose our workforce. I mean, look at it like this. What happens when you see, a company when they have a walkout? That company stops. If that company has a walkout and everybody's protesting for whatever reason, and they're standing outside of the building not doing their job, that company is at a halt. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now. That's exactly what you're seeing. And I don't believe that because we're paying people $15 an hour, I don't believe that's going to make things go up. What's going to see is people are going to start realizing their value and utilizing that when they go into these jobs and they go, okay, you're not going to pay me pennies on the dollar. You're going to pay me what I'm worth to make sure that your business still runs correctly. I'm done.
Okay. So what I wanted to say with that is that was kind of, I don't know about y'all, but that's kind of the life I lived pre-housing crisis 2012. Like, not 2012, Jesus Christ, 2008. Like, you would have to compare one store against the other or one company against the other. The fact of the point that I'm making is that, like, because of not even the minimum wage, just the trying to, like, actually have the workers feel like they're workers instead of slaves, is that it's increasing, but that means it's increasing across the board. So the packaging services increasing, the meat cutting services increasing, the like lighting industry increasing, or electrical, I should say that better. But like everything's increasing. So eventually it's going to come to the cost of manufacturing those goods and services is going to increase. Now, that doesn't necessarily tie into the minimum wage, but where it does tie into when it comes to actually selling those products and stuff like that, because we have major corporations like Walmart, Amazon, home improvement shit, Lowe's, we got Home Depot and stuff like that. Like, if they got to pay those extra costs and the manufacturing, servicing, and make no mistake, transportation services, because that does cost money, then it will go into the cost of the business, which will increase the cost versus revenue, cost versus, what is it, index? I think that's the word for economics. Or is it income? Income. There we go. But then when the revenue turns around, there will be a slight decrease, because while all that is also increasing, because let's do a cost analysis or a base example for this, the minimum wage raise. So the minimum wage for all those positions, which means it raises it for those services and stuff like that. Then it comes into the company. Company says, okay, well, the income and the cost revenue is kind of a little bit higher. So the income has to be a little bit higher to match it. So the revenue comes out on plus on the company report. But we also got to pay our own employees a higher minimum wage. So then how do we mitigate that? You either get benefactors, or you start doing some cost analysis and figuring out where you can do money. I'm not saying this is the right practice. I'm just saying that's usually the practice that big businesses employ.
Business.
And at that point, is like, where does it come? Where do you get that extra money come out so that you can retain your stock value and your interest to investors and all that stuff? Usually comes from the consumer. And how does it come from the consumer? By the products. And I'm not saying they're going to sit there and like make a gallon of milk from $4 to fucking $17, but like we've seen with back in like early 2000s to 2015 or something like that, it raises inch by inch by inch, or cent by cent by cent. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all know, but like back in the early 2000s, before 9/11, gas was pretty fucking cheap. And then all of a sudden it went to $2. It went to $1. Well, not $1, but it went to $1.50. Then went to $2. Then went to $3. I think it stopped at around like $3.68, if my memory is correct.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with that, which brings me back to my point. We can debate this all day, but economics is a very difficult thing to dissect, because there's so many facets going into it and so many different avenues that interact with it and affect it, that yeah, no one person is going to solve it. No one person is going to have the right idea or anything about it. You need a fucking team of analysts to fucking figure out what the fuck is going on. How the fuck do we mitigate this? And even worse yet, how the fuck do we fix it?
You look like you're about to say something, Joe.
No, I want you to get your thoughts in too, because no, we've both been talking a lot.
So I think the whole point of this is buying a PS5 is going to be kind of hard this year, and no, I mean, yeah, this conversation went a lot more technical than I was expecting, but I was just thinking about like alternatives and stuff, but yeah, no, you both made valid points. I mean, like I don't know what else to say about it other than fuck money or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we went into the technicals and everything of the market and everything like that. Joe, you do your point, and then we'll go on to, the actual point we were trying to make of what to get for the holidays of 2021 for a gamer.
Okay. Well, so I was just doing some research while you were talking, and I just want to, I'm going to say this in defense, because I feel like it's kind of your point versus mine at this point on economics. You were making a statement of how things were going to keep rising and ticking up, because the business is going to have to provide the income to cost ratios and things like that, revenue to cost, whatever it is. Because cost is actually going to be income is going to be falling under the cost side of things, whereas your revenue side is going to, of course, be just everything coming in. I'm going to use the gas one as a specific example of what you said. I was looking at graphs of what gas prices look like over the last 30 years. There was actually a spike on gas prices based on most of the graphs I've seen so far that took place. Let me find the one I was looking at. As of 2008. And then it was a steep drop in 2009. Rose back up. And then it's back down. The things that you have to look at going into what we were saying is it's not just going to be as simple as I'm a worker, here's how much I value, here's how much I cost. It's going to go into where you're getting your products from, your resources from, and things like that. Gas prices you can't really use in that general sense because that's not going to be affected by what a worker's value is. The guy working the counter at the convenience store isn't going to, be factored into how much gas is going to cost. That's going to be into where it's coming from.
I actually got to clarify this. I'm sorry I didn't clarify this earlier. I didn't mean to include companies that like outsource and stuff like that to different countries and stuff like that. And I didn't mean, I'm looking at this from a back end perspective, like not the counter store clerk or anything like that, but like the guy that's pumping gas and stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, but the guy that's like, oh, go ahead.
I was just saying we're forgetting about the guys working in the oil fields. That's a huge thing out here in West Texas. They make bank, but they work fucking hard. Like really fucking hard.
That's kind of what the point I was getting at. Like the guys on the back end that make everything fucking work. But
for sure,
for the short and sweet of it, if you raise the minimum wage for the minimum worker, say, i.e. the counter shop guy, you're going to have to raise it for the guy in the field working his back out to pump the oil. But the fact is, it's not going.
Not exactly. And here, I'm going to make this point pretty bluntly. The minimum livable wage is not going to affect the person in the field. Reason being is because the person in the field is getting paid based on the average of what is done for that type of job. That is not a minimum wage job. Using, for example, and I'm just going to throw out raw numbers here. Just nothing that I've researched. This is just numbers. If a person working in an oil field makes $100,000, those numbers that they're getting for those jobs, just like the electrician, the plumber, blue collar jobs, things like that, or even white collar jobs, those numbers for those jobs are based on what the average is for that style of job. Whether or not that goes up or down is up to that specific area of work. Minimum livable wage does not affect those because they're still making what is the average should be or within the realm of what they should be making for that job. Someone who working in oil field isn't going to be making $15 an hour minimum wage. If they are, you should go find another job. I'm not going to break my back to go make $15 an hour. So while I see what you're saying, that's not going to affect the economy. Those guys are being paid appropriately for the job they're working. You and I both know that. We're both in very different fields, but both of us are getting paid appropriately for the job that we're working. So I'm not going to expect the person who's stocking the shelves at Walmart to be making $100K a year. I'm going to expect them to be making a minimum livable wage. But I would also be expecting the person working the oil fields to be making six figures. I'm assuming that's what they're making, or at least paid appropriately for that position. So,
but see, the problem here is that we went from 725, which is about, if I'm roughly guessing, because there's 54 weeks in a year?
52.
52? Okay, yeah. So minus that. So 725, that's about 15,000 a year. And we suddenly jump from that to 30 something thousand a year. Double it. So then where does that go for the one that's actually went to school and actually got their job and everything and is getting paid on the base salary that was estimated off of that previous minimum wage? Where does that come into play? Wait, you're just expected to do the same work for the same pay, even though everybody under you is getting more pay than you? Well, not more to pay than you, but like a raise in pay than you?
Why would I care if I'm getting paid appropriately for my job? Why would I care what someone who's stocking shelves is making?
Well, then why would you care about raising your own pay?
I'd expect to get paid appropriately to what I'm making or to what I'm working.
Well, then
That's
why
the
shouldn't?
that's the exact reason why I just got a new job. Like, let's be honest.
And that's what I'm saying. Why would, if you were so happy just being paid what you were being paid, why would you go look for a new job? Because you want to be paid more. That may be personal life choices and stuff
appropriately. Because I want to be paid appropriately. Not for nothing. Shout out to my old job. Appreciate my old team, but Liberty University can fucking suck it. I can finally say that now. They were not paying me appropriately. They were not paying me for my role. I got a new job to get paid appropriately for my role. But I'm not stocking shelves. I'm not working a minimum livable wage. I'm getting paid what I know I should be getting paid for my position.
Yeah, but if the minimal livable wage raises double, why shouldn't everybody else's wages raise double?
And if you're making double to triple.
What I think is happening here, let's look at it this way. So let's
voice of reason.
So let's pretend that, Joe, you did not find out what the appropriate pay was for your job, like you did when you first started it, for example.
Correct.
So you were, let's just say hypothetically, and the numbers might be real, but just don't, and they're not real, but I'm just throwing out numbers.
Okay, I won't read into them.
Joe is making 35, hypothetically. So based off of what Anderson is saying, suddenly that person that was stocking shelves went from making 15 to 30. There's only a $5,000 gap now for you working the fancy desk job to the person that's just stocking some shelves, just doing mindless work. So on a macro scale, you, Joe, are looking at, stock or like shelf stocking Steve over here and being like, why is he almost making as much as me now? And so I think you're looking more in the neighborhood of like, yes, it's appropriate for my area, but I think Anderson's looking more on a macro scale. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
it does.
I'm looking more national and like international with it. Like, how's it going to affect the nation as a whole?
The point I'm trying to make, though, is if you look at the national average or the international average of whatever you're going to look at, as long as you're making for what you're working, as long as you're making that within that average, which is compiled of however many workers works within that area. If you feel as though you are making less than, sure, go ahead. Go talk to your boss and be like, hey, I feel like I should be making more. But what I'm saying is, if you're already in an established position, knowing you're making what you should be making, the minimum wage isn't going to affect you. It's not going to affect your position. It's not going to affect anything on that. Yes, you might go from 15,000 to 30,000, but that's for a minimum livable wage. If I'm already working a job where I'm making more, well over what the minimum livable wage is, if I'm thriving within my position, I'm thriving with the money I'm bringing home, that the minimum wage jump isn't going to affect me. If you look at it from a macro scale, sure, go ahead and look at it from a macro scale. But I also don't know anybody working in either one of the positions we work in who's making that, in that low. Of course, not reading into numbers and such, as you said before. But what I'm saying is, when you look at it from that standpoint of, if I'm making what I know I should be making based on what that average is, because once you do your research, you see what that average is, which is something I didn't do when I first got my job. Joke's on me. If you're making what you know you should be making within the average of that job, if that average goes up, then yes. But the minimum wage side of things isn't going to affect me. I'm not looking at, oh man, the dude who's stocking shelves is making double now, so I should be making double what I'm paying. I'm making $80K a year. I should be making 160. Nope. I should be still making what is correct within my area. If I'm working, I don't know, if I'm working oil fields, if I'm working marketing, digital marketing, like I'm doing, if I'm a computer engineer, if I'm a doctor, or if I'm I don't know, a pilot, as long as I'm making what the national, within the national average of what that, that is detailed to be, then I shouldn't be questioning what's happening underneath that, because that's not affecting me. And if you feel as though, and I'm saying this, if you feel as though that you're not making what you should be making, then yeah, you should go say something. But that's kind of the point I'm making here, is like, that's not going to affect those individuals, because those individuals are making what they should be making within their position. But again, we're back in the economic side of things. We can go back and forth on this all day long. And Anderson, I can see on your face you have a point you want to make. So go ahead.
Nah, I'm gonna derail that, and we'll just get back to what gamers should buy for the holidays.
So yeah, PS5s, Xboxes, graphics cards, they already been out of stock, but now there's even worse.
Yeah, so you're fucked. You're not getting those. So just focus on the games.
Yeah, the games, which, man, it's, I don't know, maybe it's just me being like a PC gamer now, but like, I feel like I'm never going to get a game for Christmas ever again.
I'm usually probably just going to buy it digitally, because disc has kind of gone out of style, as much as I hate to admit it.
Yeah, well, so, and there's, I'd say, we're very fortunate, and I guess I should probably sit back up now. We're very fortunate to be in the position that we're in to be able to play PC games, right? So like, we just download a game and voila, it's there. It's in the highest quality we've got.
In the quotation text, because this bitch over here cost me a good like $2,000.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I mean. We have the means to be able to afford that and not be put out on the street because of it.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, there are still
back to economics.
Yeah.
Back in the conversation.
So what I'm saying is,
back in the game.
There's a lot of people that just have, Xbox. I say just have Xboxes, PS5s, so they can still get physical games. You can still get them that. But for your PC gamer, a Steam gift card goes a long fucking way. Like, you can get a Steam gift card. We'll be thrilled with that. So don't be, ashamed of just buying the gift card, because we're going to fucking love that. Like,
I hate that fucking stigma. Do not be afraid of gift cards for Christmas and holiday gifts. If you got a PC gamer, even an Xbox gamer, a PS5 gamer, or a PS4 gamer, or an Xbox One gamer, a Microsoft gift card, a PlayStation, Sony gift card, or a Steam gift card, or hell, even if you're fucking a horrible piece of shit, a EA or Origin gift card, they all go the same way.
Yep.
But even then, they can also go ahead with that gift card, buy Game Pass, and download all the fucking games they want to play and just fucking have a time.
Yeah. It's a much different world that we live in now compared to.
It used to be just fucking CD. Was it what are they called? Yeah, CDs.
CDs.
It used to just be physical copies.
Yep. Joe.
But but the thing is, I don't want to get a $30 gift card if somebody else is getting a 40. I want more. Okay, I want some more money. No.
Oh, that's your own problem. You can keep that ego back there.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look, if they're making minimum amount of gift cards, they should be making double. No, no. I'll just say I agree on the gift card side of things. Gift cards go a long way, especially for. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I know both of you are gonna agree. I am one of the hardest individuals to buy for.
He's getting a gift card.
I am one of the hardest individuals to buy for, bar none.
He's either getting a gift card or fucking cash. I don't even give a fuck.
And that is perfectly fine with me.
Because at least then he can buy his own shit, and I don't have to worry about it or return it.
Because there's nothing worse than getting a gift that you're never going to use and be like, hey, did you get the receipt? Your boy needs
dirty fucking feeling right there.
But it's true. Like, and everybody's going through that at Christmas time, is like, and I'm just sitting pretty because my birthday falls right next to Christmas. So it's a double whammy. But
my birthday is closer, bitch. And so I got to feel it double.
That's fair. But that's like, there's nothing wrong with a good old fashioned gift card. Just don't be ashamed if that's what you get. Like, or if that's what you give, I should say. If I got a stack of cards, like I'm talking enveloped cards for Christmas, and they were thick, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm balling, bruh, because I know it's full of gift cards. And I'm about to be
fucking
like,
happy.
And Joe's about to
I'm
Scrooge
like,
McDuck his way into that fucking shit.
I will tell all you out here on chat, I will accept gift cards all day. The only actual physical presents I accept are from personal, like, family members.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only ones I accept. They're like actual physical objects or something like that. Because I'm a grown ass man. Yeah, exactly. I'm a grown ass man. So my mom got me, like, last Christmas, she got me some boxers, some socks, and some Duluth cargo pants for work and stuff like that. I was fucking ecstatic about that because she knows what the fuck to get me. Joe ain't gonna know what the fuck to get me from what I need.
Liquor.
Besides that, I can get that my damn self. But this man just gives me a gift card to the ABC store. That's great because I ain't got to go. He ain't got to go in there and try to figure out what liquor does Anderson like. What kind of brand does he like? Like what kind of
Scotch
special? Okay, y'all motherfuckers are just ruining this. Can I just speak? Okay, so they're pretty much best friends like brothers, but that's a whole different thing. Like, if I went to one of my other friends and been like, "What are you gonna get me for Christmas?" They'd be like, "Oh, I'll probably just get you some vodka, or I'll just get you some some gloves." Be like, "Bitch, what the fuck? I already do that on my damn self. I don't need that. Just give me a gift card."
Specifically, Glenfiddich.
I'm not even going to comment on that one, but yeah, no, gift cards. Because at least with gift cards or cash, the person can go out and buy what the fuck they want.
Yep.
And just you giving them the means to do that is gift enough.
Now, if you're one of those people that just still, after our long tirade of, like, you know, get the fucking gift card, don't want to get a gift card for some reason, there are some things you can get that are probably still in stock. Accessories. Mm-hmm. Accessories for your gaming system, whatever it is. So, like, if it's an Xbox, another Xbox controller, absolutely. Everybody will always be down for that. PlayStation, you know, whatever. Switch controllers,
even if it's like an off-brand, like Mad Catz controller or something like that, at least you thought of them and you thought of their hobby.
Yeah, because it's still, one, useful, and two, then you can feel at least a little more thoughtful. Like, I never really got that personally.
Yeah, because at least then, even if it's an off-brand or something like that, you got a backup in case you spike your controller into the ground or some stupid shit.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Anderson recently has been having to rock the Mad Catz controller.
Oh, wait, no. Let's go.
Oh, damn. With the fucking spikes at the bottom. Like, you can use that shit as a weapon.
I probably could. I could probably end an infant with this shit.
Yep. But I mean, even for PC, like, one of the things, like, I put on my list for, like, you know, my close family and fiance to buy is like a steering wheel, like a steering wheel I could hook up to my computer. I want to play Forza on it. So, like, you know, things like that, you know. It's not just, you don't have to buy games or consoles.
Yeah, and even though I'm best friends with these guys, I'm going to give them a fucking gift card because they both know I fucking suck at gift giving.
You don't have to get us anything, Anderson.
Yo, the last birthday present I gave Joe was a case of beer. I was just like, fuck it.
I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna say this. Going along with the gift card side of things, that is so much more thoughtful than the stereotypical gifts. The reason I say that is for probably the last 4 birthdays and 4 Christmases, I suddenly gained this stigma that I was some craft beer snob. The only thing anybody could get me was either a sixer or some accessory for beer. Stop.
It's funny as shit too because they give them all that shit, and I just walk in with like a 24 pack. I'm like, here you go.
But the thing is, like, it's not just that. Like, there's so many different stigmas for people. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, Timothy went and played golf the other day. Sounds like he's a golfer now. I'm gonna go get him some golf shit.
Or like
No.
me, like y'all just did, like scotch.
Scotch. Like it's just like it when I promise you that those gift cards, cash, things like that, or just genuinely asking. Now, granted, that's a bit of a double standard for me to say because anybody who asks me knows that the exact thing I'm actually, as a matter of fact, it happened earlier. I was on the phone with Sam and I said, "Hey, I already got y'all's Christmas gifts." And he goes, "Oh, it's funny. I got your wife and your son something. What do you want?" And I was like, "Ha, great time for me to say bye." And I hung up on him. Like, because
we didn't talk again until he hopped in this fucking Discord call.
That's correct.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And but there's a lot of people out there who are very much like, "Hey, this is what I would like. If you want to buy me a gift, buy me XYZ." That does not mean to go buy. No, that does not mean to go buy accessories that go with said item. That does not mean to go buy things you think could go with said item. That means go buy that item. Like, if people know what they want, they know what they're going to use. I just got done packing up my entire house from the top floor to the basement I'm sitting in right now. And I threw away, I shit you not, I threw away 6 truckloads of either stuff to the dump or stuff to Goodwill because it's stuff that we've gotten over the years that we don't use.
He is not lying because even before this move, I've helped him get rid of stuff that they do not use.
Exactly. So I promise you, it's not a bad thing to buy either buy gift cards or buy the person the thing they said they wanted. Now, if it's out of your price range, get a gift card. Hey, you know what? I'm a fisher. I like to go fishing all the time. There's a great rod I want to get. It's like $500.
Look, a gift card that even if it's out of your price range, just $20 towards that rod is a long fucking way.
That's exactly my point. That money that you give them is going to go towards the thing they want.
And there's something that my family has started recently, and Anderson, I'll let you get back to it here in just a second. This is just a quick aside. Yeah. I just fill up my Amazon wish list with shit that I want and send out the link. That's all I do. I've done that. That's it. And so, like, Linda gets the link, my parents get the link. I can send y'all the link if you want. I can post the link in the chat, but that's all I ever do.
Actually, you know what? Just send me the link, so that'd be easier for me.
Okay. For those of you who are wondering, I wear a size extra large Titan gaming chair. There you go.
But the point I was going to make is, for the holidays, because everybody likes to go to their families and see everybody and stuff like that. If your family lives across the fucking country or lives in a different country and flies in, your gift is them showing the fuck up. Stop expecting more, because the fucking airplane already costs like $1,000. The fucking whatever else, just getting there cost them about $1,000. Get over yourself. It is more expensive to just show up wherever the fuck you are and where they came from than it is to just get you a gift card or get you the next expensive gift you want or a PS5. Shut the fuck up. They got there. They're there with you. You're spending quality family time together. You're bonding and everything like that. They are there. That is the point of these holidays. Thanksgiving is for family. Christmas is for unity and giving. Please stop that shit. I've had family members myself that have said like, "Oh, you didn't give me a gift? Well, I guess you don't care that much about me." Motherfucker, I am here. I've had to travel from Virginia to fucking Seattle. Shut the fuck up. I have cussed out family members over this shit.
Can I make an extended point to that?
Go ahead.
That doesn't just count for the holidays. And further point, if your family is flying in to see you, and this is shout out to Whiskey, love you, dog. This is something that he and I have talked about many times. If your family is flying in, don't make them go to different places just to see different family.
Oh fuck!
Be a
No.
little more compliant and everybody find one central location to link up.
Bro, they're coming to you. If they fly in to see you, bro, buy them a 6-pack. Let them sit at your home and just chill because it is their time off. They are not working. They are coming to see you out of their own goodwill. Please, for the love of God, let them relax.
Perfect example of that. That guy right there came to town.
I was out of town.
You were. And I said, hey, what are your plans while you're here? Not sure. Probably going to hang out at the house, hang out with family. Cool. Let me know when you're free. I'll come to you.
And he did.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. If you have to have the edge of convenience on your side for the family who flew thousands of miles just to come home to see everybody, you should reevaluate your values.
Yeah.
Because your family isn't valuable to you.
What is this voice?
Because, I mean, I could just speak from personal experience myself. I have family in the UK, Russia, and the Caribbean.
Russia. Damn.
Yes, it's very weird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Russia, Germany, which is even weirder, actually. But
Russia's weirder.
yeah, that's fair. They're weird. But anyway, like I fly to meet them every couple of years, 2 or 3 years. But when I get there, guess what? I'm welcome in their home. They realize I came out to see them. I came to spend time with them. And they leave me the fuck alone. Unless we're actually spending time together, eating dinner or going out and seeing sights because we all agreed upon it. But other than that, they leave me with my 6-pack and my liquor and I'm good. Because guess what? I spent that much money just coming out there to spend time with them, to see them, and they welcome me. And it's just you got someone that comes out here and loves you enough and thinks you're family enough to spend time with you and to pay all that money just to come see you. Yeah. And they took off time from, even though it might be a holiday or something like that, or on their scale or your scale, whichever it depends, because I know holidays differ between countries, but they're taking off time from work. They're taking off time from their own life. They're taking off time from their bills and stuff like that just to come out and see you and be with you. So, yeah, if say Sam or Joe came up here and they just came up to my door and knocked and they're like, hey, yo, we're here. I was like, cool. Bed's over there. Couch is over there. Beer's in the fridge. Let me know what you want to do. And if they don't want to do shit, they don't want to do shit. We'll hang out and play games. Yeah. We'll hang out and do nothing. We'll I don't know. We'll do nothing. We'll fucking sleep all fucking 5 days they're here.
I don't give a shit. A perfect example of that.
They came out here just to see me.
Yep.
That's all I want.
A perfect example of that. So that same trip, my dad felt bad because I went to visit him because he was, he's kind of in not the greatest health at the time. And he was like, well, I feel bad that we can't go out and do stuff. I was like, Dad, I'd prefer not to. I'm totally fine just sitting in this house watching Netflix. And so we started a show, what was it, Norseman? I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's fucking hilarious. It's on Netflix. But it's we just chilled and watched TV.
Add that to my list.
Yep, it's really good. It's super dry humor, but with Vikings. It's really good.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just perfect example of that. He felt bad. I was like, trust me, this is better. This is better than anything else because otherwise I'll be tired.
I was about to say, when you have true family and true friends and friends are either brothers or sisters to you or every technicolor in between, because I don't give a fuck about trying to describe that shit. What really matters is spending time with them, not about what you're doing or giving gifts or showing them your monetary appreciation of them. It's just being there for them.
Yeah.
That's the end of all of it.
I'll use a prime example of that myself. As you both know, and as many of you who don't, my dad, he's a badass. He drives cross-country 18-wheeler and used to be every 8 weeks, home for a week, every 8 weeks out, home for a week.
Also, now, for all you out there, his dad is a badass. He scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, my dad's a true badass when it comes to his work ethic. I have not received a Christmas gift from my dad in years. And that is because, and I told him this years ago, I would much rather share a meal on a holiday and have your time than have your monetary value placed on that time. And that is something that is so important to so many people, because when you look at it from, if family is important to you, which family is not just blood, it's everybody. The people who understand get it. And a lot of people out there who are watching this are gonna be like, yes.
Yeah, family is
but,
not just blood. It is very much about the connections and bonds you make throughout life.
Correct. If you value the time with those people, the holidays are that much better, because those people feel that value tenfold over the gift you thought they were going to like. I mean, I would much rather not get a gift and have someone's quality time than them giving me a half-hearted gift and then be gone 15 minutes later because we already ate dinner and now they're dipping out to go home. I'd rather share a beer and some quality laughs with people than someone be like, oh, hey, guess what? Here's the little thing I got you. Yeah. Okay. Y'all be goodbye. Like, you know, it really does make a difference. And that's the same mindset that my dad and I have. Is I would much rather sit down with him, hear stories from the road, him hear things going on in my life, us share it over, you know, a beer or his favorite, a glass of bourbon, and just chill. And, you know, like one of the things we used to watch, I don't know if you remember the show, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, MXC.
Oh, yes.
Let's get it out. Like that was our show, dude. That was our show. And we still watch reruns to this day. And like, but that's the thing, is like, we'll get together and we'll just sit in front of the TV and watch watch that show and just relax and talk and carry on and have a good old time. Hell, we might even go out and shoot some guns or whatever if we find the time to do it, whatever we can do. But it's that quality time that means so much. So while, yes, getting gifts is awesome, and the aspect of getting gifts, you know, we talked about that, getting gift cards for those that you don't know what to buy for or whatever. But remember that quality time also counts, especially for those who are traveling in. Make the effort to see those people traveling in, finding that place where they don't have to travel so much. Because I can promise you this. Now that I'm going to have to get used to traveling, you know, back to see family, I can already say that I'm going to appreciate sitting in one location way more than having to drive around everywhere to go see everybody. Like, you'd be like, look, man, if you want to get a beer, get the homies together. We're going to the same spot to get a beer. I don't want to go to 20 different bars. Like, let's just be chill. I mean, shit, even just flying to go see friends and accommodating that. Like, you know, when I went down to go find a house,
That really shit is exhausting.
Yeah. The only place we really went out of town was to go see your fiance's family. And y'all even asked me, you were like, are you cool with that? Like, because I know you've traveled. Like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm fucking down. Okay, let's go. Like, some people are like that. But it's the aspect of like making the effort to see them, to have quality time with them, not make them feel as though that time has to be spent traveling to other places just to go see people.
That's what I think has been lost with the holidays and stuff like that through the current, like the past couple years, like the aspect of fucking family, which I hate to be like Vin Diesel or something like here, the Fast and Furious, but
It's family.
It's all about family. No, but it's not your blood family. It's not your just biological family. It's your actual, like, your personal connection group. Who do you thrive with? Who do you love? Who do you care about? And who you would, you know what, to take you to the extreme, who you would take a bullet for. Because that's evidently what that is the epitome, fuck you. That is the epitome of what the holidays are about. Because Thanksgiving is all about family. Christmas is epitome. All right, have fun. Thanksgiving is all about that. Christmas is
damn.
You really gotta do me like that. But
It's been a while since I used the salad board. Okay,
that's true. I'll give that to you. But even now, you just see between the three of us, like, that's what it's about. Just spending time with the homies or spending time with the fam.
I mean,
that's 99% of the reason we do this. Honestly, it's just chilling.
It's just the bros chilling.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can ask any one of us, like, between either one of us would sit here and be like, yeah, no, I got his back, ride or die till death. Like, we ain't even get married and we out here, yeah, no, I got his back. And that's what these holidays are about, celebrating that and celebrating the connection you made, the connection that you have to be able to do that and to be able to do that with full conviction. But people lose sight of that. I mean, yeah, you got all the religious stuff and you got all the marketing and the corporate companies coming after you and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you got to come down to brass tacks. Like, these holidays are made for the family to get together and celebrate the fact that they're a family. That's it.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you got the feast, you got the ham, you got the turkey, but at the end of the day, you're just happy that you're there with everybody that loves you.
Very well said, Anderson. And with that, I think that's it, boys.
Yeah, I think we wrapped it up pretty well.
Yep.
But Joe, go ahead and give your farewell for the year, because you ain't gonna be back till January.
I doubt I'll be back till January. So y'all be good.
That was a shitty farewell.
I mean, that's my usual. It's just like, hey, everybody, y'all be good now. All right. Yeah, y'all be good. No, I definitely won't be on the show for probably like 3 to 4 weeks. So, everybody tune in, come take care of these two in my absence. Who knows what hell they'll get into, but YouTube, thank you for watching this. Drop a like on this if you enjoyed what you saw, and let us know in the comments what you think about macroeconomics. And then, of course, give us your best Vin Diesel approach about family.
About family.
It is. But also, subscribe and hit the bell icon so that way you stay up to date on things TGB, and come on back and check out all the other fun stuff we're doing. And then everyone on Twitch, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate y'all so much. Make sure to take care of these boys while I am gone. And if I don't see you beforehand, everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'll probably see you in 2022 in a brand new state, brand new stream room, brand new everything. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it really is going to be brand new everything. If you haven't yet on the Twitch side, we do appreciate this. Prime subs are free. Go ahead and subscribe there as well, because we are getting geared up to do some more stuff. I don't know. Have we decided yet if we're going to be doing?
Hold on. I want Sam to do it.
Hang on.
Do it, baby.
Prime subs.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yep. Yeah, that Prime subs are free. They give us money and you don't have to spend anything. But that also helps us out with all the fun stuff that we're doing, which I really don't know if these guys are going to be doing a challenge series tournament while I'm gone. You'll have to stay tuned for that. But if they don't, we'll see you in the new year. We'll have a new one keyed up for you, ready to go. But with all that said, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We will certainly catch you all in the next one.
Bye, idiot.